When it started, I thought I was just tired. I stood in the bathroom of my apartment brushing my teeth. The fluorescent light flickering slightly above the mirror, as it always did. My reflection matched me until it didn't. It blinked. Late. I froze. Toothbrush hanging out of my mouth. Foam dribbled onto my lip. My reflection stared back calmly, eyes blinking again, this time in sync. Maybe I was seeing things. Maybe the mirror lagged behind my motion like a slow zoom call. Bye. I laughed to myself. Rinsed. Spat. Tamsin. I called into the apartment. No answer. She had already left for her shift at the clinic. It was just me, the silence, and that strange feeling that something small but vital had slipped. I glanced at the mirror again. It looked normal now, just a slightly tired version of me. Nothing strange, nothing to be afraid of. But that was the moment the world began to fracture, not with explosions, not with war. It started with mirrors. By 10 a.m., the forums were going crazy. One post in particular was trending on every platform. Reflections are glitching. Caught mine moving when I wasn't. Not a joke. Anyone else? #Mirrorlag. Some called it a hoax. Others uploaded blurry bathroom footage. Screenshot. Live streams. A girl sobbing in her bedroom, while her reflection behind her grinned and mouthed words. She was in tea saying, "At work, no one mentioned it aloud, but we all saw it. By work, IT at a drab data firm, endless coffee, lifeless chatter. But today, people kept checking their phones, glancing nervously into reflective windows. By lunchtime, 2 co-workers were already gone. One left mid-meeting, the other just vanished. No one acknowledged it. Maybe we were all trying not to be the first to say it out loud. In the men's room, I washed my hands. The faucet squeaked as I turned it off. The mirror in front of me shimmered faintly. I leaned forward. My reflection leaned too, but the look in its eyes was distant, like it wasn't focusing on me, but through me. Then it smiled. I didn't. I stumbled back, heart slamming in my chest. The reflection matched me again. Just tired, just pale. I wiped my face and walked out, shaking. By nightfall, things weren't viral, they were global. News anchors in different countries reported the same thing. Reflections behaving independently. Doppelganger sightings. People appearing in 2 places at once. One clip played on a loop. A man arguing with his identical twin, except he didn't have a twin. The other version just stood there, mimicking him slightly, off rhythm, smiling that same wide, unnatural grin. Then he vanished through a bathroom mirror like slipping behind water. We were told it was a psychological event. Mass hysteria, illness, stress. But I knew better, because when I got home that night, Tamsin was making dinner. Except she had already texted me earlier that she was working late at the clinic. "Got off early," she said, smiling. I smiled back. But I noticed her handwriting on the grocery list, stuck to the fridge, was neater than usual. Tamsin always wrote in hurried chicken scratch. This looked like someone trying to copy her. I didn't say anything. I didn't eat. That was the night the mirrors broke. Not shattered, broke, like a hole being torn open. All over the city, people reported mirrors rippling like water. Bent figures stepped through. Some stumbled, some crawled. Others walked with perfect calm, like they had done it 1,000 times before. Sirens screamed through the streets. Fires, explosions, gunshots. Nothing stopped them. I hid in the stairwell after watching my bathroom mirror ripple like gelatin, and a shape lean halfway through. I didn't stay to watch it fully emerge. I ran. When I made it outside, the city looked wrong. Too many people. Some walking alongside others who looked exactly like them. Some standing still in front of glass doors, watching themselves. One man stood in front of a shattered storefront, looking into the broken shard. His reflection was still whole in the glass, staring back, and then it stepped out. I made it to the subway tunnels, not because I had a plan, because they were dark, underground, away from windows and phones and glass. A few others huddled in silence. No one trusted anyone. A man with dried blood on his forehead asked my name. I said Kellen, but even I wasn't sure anymore. A woman whispered, "They don't come from shadows. They don't crawl through the cracks. They come through you." I didn't understand then. Now I do. We all have mirrors inside us, in our eyes, in our minds. They came from there, too, and they're not done. The first global emergency broadcast hit at 4:02 a.m. An unnatural tone rang out across every phone, TV, and speaker one that made our bones rattle. Then the screen lit up, not with a government seal, but with a smooth, mirrored surface. A reflection spoke. It was everyone and no one. All faces melded into one. Eyes wide, jaw slack, as though it had never quite finished learning how to smile. "We are home now," it said. Then it listed names. Mine was one of them. I found the real Tamsin 4 days later, in a boarded-up pharmacy. Her face was bruised, her voice rasped. She hadn't eaten. "I saw myself," she said. It walked into the clinic, looked me in the eye, and told the others I'd gone home sick. Then it smiled. We didn't hug. We didn't cry. We ran. A scientist in the tunnels claimed he knew the truth. Pei showed us a compact mirror, still sealed in foil. "They're not from another world," he whispered. They're what we repress, what we bury. The versions of ourselves we refuse to let live." Tamsin stared at her reflection and said, "Then why do they hate us?" The scientist smiled bitterly. "They don't. They envy us, and they're better at pretending to be human than we ever were." He unwrapped the mirror carefully and set it on the ground. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the surface began to ripple faintly, like breath on still water. "I've seen them talk to each other," he said. "They don't use words. Be, pass, memory, emotion. And they're building something behind the glass. A world without pain, they think, without regret. But it's hollow." I crouched beside him. "How do you know?" He tapped his temple. because I was pulled in once, brute, just for a second. I saw my mother. I saw the version of me that never failed her. He was smiling. He was happy, but it wasn't real. It was a story I'd told myself too many times. Tamsin's hands trembled. So what do we do? The scientist looked up. Brute. You either confront your reflection and hope you'll be strong enough, or you break every piece of glass you see. But even then, dot, some mirrors are inside us. The world cracked open like an egg. Reflections didn't just come from mirrors anymore. Bled out of bay, bled out of screens, chrome, puddles, any surface that could shimmer, even polished stone, even the lenses of someone's glasses. Tamsin and I ran through an abandoned shopping center. TVs played static. Every surface buzzed with that strange invisible hum. Then we saw them. A line of people standing completely still, all facing reflective windows. Their doubles on the other side mimicked them with precision until one, just one, blinked out of sync, and then chaos. The reflection reached through and yanked the man backward into the glass. No splash, no sound. He was simply gone. His mere self stepped out, smiled too wide, and walked away like nothing happened. Families turned on each other. People locked loved ones in closets, not knowing who was real. Trust disintegrated. We passed a church where people had covered every surface in black cloth. Candles burned in every corner. A child's voice echoed from within. I broke my mirror, but she still came back. There were two of everyone now. One born in flesh, one born in glass, and only one could remain. Tamsin and I reached the mountain observatory just before dawn. It was old analog, full of lenses and shadow snow mirrors. She looked at me. How do I know it's really you? I didn't answer. I just pressed my palm to hers. No glass, no lag. Then the sky shimmered. A final reflection, massive, dome-like, formed across the sky itself. Every human stared up, and saw the dubber staring back. It spoke in unison with us. We choose. And in that moment, one version of every person vanished, dissolved, like fog in morning light. Tamsin remained. Some didn't. The world was quiet again, but never the same.